Hello everyone, this anime Uchiha X here with a new What If Issei was a secret prince of an unknown demon clan?
Opening scene, Issei's bedroom, early morning. The alarm clock blares. Issei sluggishly turns it off, stretching as a faint chill runs down his spine. He rubs his eyes, shaking off the unease. Issei, thinking just another boring day, or so I hope. He grabs his bag and steps out into the morning light, brushing off the subtle tension lingering in the air. Scene, walk to school, quiet morning. The street is unusually still. Issei senses something strange, a faint pressure, like someone watching him. He pauses, looking around. In the distance, a cloaked figure with faintly glowing red eyes stares at him from the shadows. Issei, nervously, to himself, weird. Must be my imagination. He picks up his pace, glancing back once more. The figure is gone. Scene, walk home, sunset. The day ends uneventfully, and Issei heads home. He takes a shortcut through the park, deep in thought, but the unease from the morning returns. This time, he stops abruptly. The figure stands behind him, as if appearing out of nowhere. Stranger, calmly Issei Hayudu, the prince of the Abyssal Flame Clan. Issei, stammering prince. What? Look, I think you've got the wrong guy. Stranger, smiling slightly, deny it all you want. But deep inside, you've felt it, haven't you? Power. Ancient and boundless. You carry the blood of the Abyssal Flame, a demon clan both feared and revered. Issei feels a strange energy ripple through him, unsettling and undeniable. Issei, this can't be real. I'm just an ordinary guy. Stranger, his tone sharpens, your memories were sealed to protect you. But no seal lasts forever. The abyssal flame within you is awakening. Suddenly, an intense fiery aura erupts from the stranger. A surge of energy courses through Issei, and black flames flicker faintly around his hands. Scene, Issei's mindscape, dreamlike realm. Issei is pulled into a surreal landscape, a vast plain of dark, flickering flames. Before him stands a massive figure radiating power, its features regal yet terrifying. Ancient demon, voice echoing Issei Hayudu, last heir to the Abyssal Flame Clan. The blood of your ancestors burns within you. Issei, overwhelmed, this isn't real. Why don't I remember any of this? Ancient demon, to protect you. But the time has come for you to awaken. The abyssal flame cannot be contained any longer. The demon extends a hand, and flames swirl around Issei, filling him with a mix of fear and exhilaration. Ancient demon, embrace it. It is your birthright. Scene, back to the park. Issei snaps back to reality, panting. The flames around his hands flicker weakly. The stranger watches, intrigued. Stranger, you feel it now, don't you? The truth of your heritage. Issei, defensive, I don't need answers from you. Just leave me alone. Summoning his courage, Issei lashes out with a burst of fiery energy. The stranger chuckles, fading into the shadows as if amused. Stranger, as he disappears, you can't run from destiny, young prince. Scene transition, Issei's room, late night. Issei sits on his bed, staring at his trembling hands as faint wisps of dark flame flicker and vanish. A soft knock at his door pulls him out of his thoughts. Opening the door, he finds a woman with long dark hair and a commanding yet gentle presence. Woman, smiling Issei Hayudu. I am Seraphina. I've come to guide you. Issei, hesitant, guide me? What's happening to me? Seraphina, you have a path to walk, a destiny to claim. Together, we will unlock the power you were born to wield. Issei stares at her, torn between fear and curiosity as the screen fades to black. The soft glow of the moon filters through Issei's window. Seraphina stands with an air of calm authority, her dark eyes locked onto Issei's confused expression. Issei, tentatively, okay. Seraphina, right? What do you mean by guide me? Guide me where? Seraphina, gently, not where. What? You've lived unaware of who you truly are, Issei. but the time has come to embrace your lineage. The abyssal flame burns within you, and the world won't wait for you to catch up. Issei, frustrated, you're talking in riddles. What does this have to do with me? I'm just a normal guy. Seraphina steps closer, raising her hand. A small ember of black flame dances on her palm, mesmerizing and eerily familiar. The flame pulses, matching Issei's heartbeat. Seraphina, this is no riddle, young prince. The flames that stir within you are tied to the balance of power in this world. You are the last heir to the Abyssal Flame Clan, and enemies who fear that power are already moving. Issei, hesitant enemies? You mean like that creepy guy in the park? Seraphina, serious, that was merely a scout, testing the waters. There are others, more dangerous forces, who will stop at nothing to ensure your power is extinguished before it fully awakens. Issei looks at his hands, faint flickers of the dark flame sparking involuntarily. He clenches his fists, struggling to process the weight of her words. Issei, quietly, I didn't ask for any of this. Seraphina, softly, none of us choose the paths we are born into. But we can decide how we walk them. A secluded clearing, early morning. Seraphina leads Issei to a quiet clearing surrounded by dense trees. The air feels heavy, charged with an unfamiliar energy. Issei, looking around nervously, so, what's this? A secret training montage? Seraphina, smirking slightly, something like that. If you are to survive, you must learn to control the abyssal flame. Otherwise, it will consume you. She extends her hand, and a torrent of black flames erupts, shaping into a massive spear that crackles with raw power. Issei stumbles back, wide-eyed. Seraphina, these flames are not ordinary. They respond to emotion, will, and resolve. To control them, you must first control yourself. Seraphina gestures for Issei to mimic her. He hesitates, then raises his hands, focusing intently. The air around him ripples, and faint sparks of flame flicker to life before sputtering out. Issei, groaning, this is impossible. Seraphina, firmly focus, Issei. The abyssal flame does not obey doubt. Feel its rhythm, its pulse. It is part of you. Issei closes his eyes, taking a deep breath. Slowly, the flames reignite, swirling around his hands. A faint glow illuminates his determined expression. Seraphina, nodding approvingly, good. Now, channel that energy outward. With a shout, Issei thrusts his hands forward, releasing a burst of flame that scorches the ground ahead. He stumbles, panting, as Seraphina steadies him. Issei, panting, this is harder than it looks. Seraphina, smiling faintly, you've taken the first step. But this is only the beginning. Downtown, afternoon. Later, Issei walks through the bustling streets, trying to shake off the events of the morning. He's lost in thought when he feels a familiar, oppressive presence. He freezes, glancing around. From the crowd, a man in a sharp suit steps forward. His eyes glint with malice, and a sinister grin spreads across his face. Stranger, mockingly, well. The little prince, wandering all alone. Issei, startled, who are you? Stranger, just someone who doesn't think the abyssal flame deserves to rise again. The man's aura flares, and the ground cracks beneath his feet as dark energy swirls around him. Passers-by scream and scatter, leaving Issei and the man standing face to face. Stranger, grinning, let's see if you're worthy of that title. Before Issei can react, the man lunges. A flash of black flame erupts from Issei instinctively, blocking the attack but sending him stumbling backward. Intense fight sequence. The fight escalates, with the stranger hurling dark projectiles and Issei barely managing to defend himself. Each clash sends shockwaves through the street. Issei's flames flicker, uncontrolled and erratic, as he struggles to keep up. Issei, thinking, panicked, I'm not ready for this. The stranger strikes, sending Issei sprawling. As the man raises his hand for a final blow, a burst of energy slams into him, forcing him back. Seraphina appears, her aura blazing with power. Seraphina, Coldly you dare challenge the prince in my presence? The man snarls, retreating slightly but not backing down. Stranger, this isn't over. The abyssal flame has no place in this world. He vanishes into the shadows, leaving Issei shaken but alive. Issei's room, evening. Issei sits on his bed, staring at his hands. The day's events replay in his mind, leaving him restless. Serafina stands by the window, watching him thoughtfully. Issei, quietly, I could have died today. Serafina, gently, but you didn't. You fought, and you survived. Issei, looking up at her, if this is what being the prince means. I don't know if I can handle it. Serafina, softly, strength isn't about never being afraid, Issei. It's about standing up despite your fear. You have that strength. She places a hand on his shoulder, her expression kind yet resolute. Serafina, you're not alone in this. Trust in yourself, and trust in me. Together, we will uncover the truth of your heritage and protect what's yours. Issei nods slowly, determination flickering in his eyes. The morning sun filters through the blinds. Issei is sprawled on his bed, staring at the ceiling, the events of the previous day playing over in his mind. Issei, thinking a prince of some ancient demon clan. I still can't wrap my head around it. He sits up, rubbing his face as faint embers of black flame flicker around his fingertips. Issei, sighing, and now I've got assassins coming after me. What even is my life anymore? A knock at the door snaps him out of his thoughts. Serafina enters, her usual composed demeanor tinged with urgency. Serafina, get dressed. We're leaving. Issei, confused, what? Where? Serafina, serious, the enemies you faced yesterday won't wait for you to catch your breath. You need more than raw power, you need control. Remote training grounds, midday. Serafina leads Issei to a desolate canyon surrounded by jagged cliffs. The air is heavy with an ominous energy, the perfect place for training. Issei, looking around nervously, this place looks like it's straight out of a horror movie. Serafina, ignoring him, the abyssal flame isn't just a weapon, it's an extension of your will. Until you master it, you're vulnerable. Today, you'll learn to wield it. She gestures, summoning a swirl of black flames that coalesce into a whip. She flicks it effortlessly, the air crackling with heat. Serafina, attack me. Issei, startled, what? Serafina, calmly, if you can't land a single blow, you'll never stand against those who truly seek to kill you. Attack me. Issei hesitates, then summons his flames. He charges, clumsily launching a fiery blast. Serafina sidesteps with ease, countering with a sharp crack of her flame whip that sends him stumbling. Issei, gritting his teeth, you didn't say you'd fight back. Serafina, smirking, did you expect your enemies to hold back? Again. The sequence repeats as Issei grows increasingly frustrated. Each time he attacks, Serafina deflects or dodges effortlessly, her movements fluid and precise. Training montage. A fast-paced sequence of Issei's attempts to improve, stumbling, recovering, summoning larger flames, and pushing himself harder. Over time, his attacks grow sharper and more focused, though he's still far from matching Serafina. Serafina, after a particularly strong attack, better. You're learning to channel your emotions without letting them control you. Issei, panting, yeah, but I'm still not strong enough to beat you. Serafina, sternly, this isn't about beating me. It's about survival. And survival requires discipline. A hidden observation post, sunset. Unbeknownst to Issei and Serafina, a pair of cloaked figures watch from a distance. Their voices are low but filled with malice. Figure 1, the prince is weaker than I expected. This will be easier than I thought. Figure 2, calmly, do not underestimate him. The abyssal flame is unpredictable. If he awakens its full potential, even we will struggle to contain him. Figure 1, grinning, then we strike before that happens. Tonight. The camera lingers on their retreating forms as the shadows deepen. Issei's temporary camp, night. Issei and Serafina sit by a small fire, the training session long over. The silence is heavy, broken only by the crackling flames. Issei, hesitant. Serafina, what was my family like? Serafina looks at him, her expression softening slightly. Serafina, proud. Strong. Your father was a great leader, and your mother was kind. They ruled with power, but also with wisdom. The Abyssal Flame Clan wasn't just feared, it was respected. Issei, quietly. Then why was I hidden away? Why seal my memories? Serafina, looking into the fire. Betrayal. The clans turned against one another, fearing their family's power. They conspired to destroy the Abyssal Flame forever. You were hidden to preserve your bloodline. Issei clenches his fists, dark flames flickering faintly around them. Issei, so, my family, they're gone because of them. Serafina, firmly. That's why you must survive. The Abyssal Flame is not just your inheritance, it's your duty to protect it. Scene transition, ambush, midnight. The quiet of the camp is shattered as the cloaked figures strike. A barrage of dark energy crashes down, scattering the fire and forcing Issei and Serafina apart. Serafina, shouting. Issei, get back. The two attackers emerge, their auras pulsating with malice. One wields a massive blade of shadow energy, while the other summons chains crackling with dark electricity. Figure 1, mocking the prince, looks fragile. Did we interrupt your bedtime story? Issei scrambles to his feet, his hands igniting with flame. Serafina engages the blade wielder, her movements sharp and controlled. The second attacker turns their focus to Issei. Issei, gritting his teeth. I'm done running. The fight is chaotic, Issei barely holding his ground as the attacker presses him with chain strikes. His flames flicker and surge, but they remain inconsistent, more a shield than a weapon. Issei's breakthrough. The attacker's chains wrap around Issei's arm, cutting into him. He grits his teeth, pain and frustration boiling over. Issei, thinking, I can't lose. I won't lose. A sudden surge of power erupts from within him. The flames around his body intensify, shifting from flickering embers to roaring infernos. With a roar, he shatters the chains, sending his attacker flying. Serafina glances over, her expression a mix of surprise and pride as Issei stands, flames swirling around him like a storm. Issei, shouting, get out of here, now! The two attackers retreat, clearly shaken but not defeated. Figure 1, to their partner, he's stronger than we thought. This isn't over. They vanish into the shadows, leaving Issei and Serafina alone in the ruined camp. The aftermath, pre-dawn. Issei collapses to his knees, the flames dying down. Serafina kneels beside him, placing a hand on his shoulder. Serafina, softly, you did well. Issei, panting, that was insane. Serafina, smiling faintly, and it's only the beginning. The camera pans over a small, hidden cave lit by a faint, otherworldly glow. Serafina sits cross-legged, meditating near a glowing orb of black flame, while Issei rests nearby, still recovering from the ambush. Issei, groaning, sitting up, my whole body feels like I got hit by a truck, twice. Serafina, without opening her eyes, that's because your awakening pushed your body beyond its current limits. The Abyssal Flame amplifies your strength, but without control, it will also destroy you. Issei, grumbling, great. So, either I master this or it kills me. No pressure. Serafina, standing gracefully, you'll have your chance to prove yourself soon enough. Issei, suspicious, what does that mean? She turns to him, her expression unreadable. Serafina, it's time for the Abyssal Trials. Path to the Abyssal Realm, noon. Serafina leads Issei through a dense forest shrouded in mist. The air grows heavier as they walk, and strange whispers echo faintly around them. Issei, nervous, are we walking into a haunted house or something? Serafina, calmly, the Abyssal Realm exists between this world and the next. It's a place of trials, only those worthy of the Abyssal Flame can pass through. Issei, sarcastic, in what happens to those who aren't worthy? Serafina, matter-of-factly, they don't come back. Issei, wide-eyed fantastic. They reach a massive stone archway carved with intricate runes. Dark flames flicker along its edges, and the air hums with energy. Seraphina, stopping before the arch. This is where I leave you. The trials are yours to face alone. Issei, panicked alone? Are you serious? Seraphina, firmly. The abyssal flame recognizes only strength of will. No one can guide you through this but yourself. Reluctantly, Issei steps through the arch. A burst of energy surrounds him, and he vanishes into the abyssal realm. Scene transition, the abyssal realm. Issei finds himself in a surreal landscape, an endless expanse of blackened ground illuminated by swirling flames in the sky. The air is thick, and the whispers from earlier now grow louder, forming incomprehensible words. Issei, looking around nervously. Okay, Issei, you've got this, probably. The ground shifts beneath him, and a massive figure emerges. It's a hulking demon with fiery eyes and jagged armor, towering over him. Demon Guardian, voice booming. Who dares to enter the abyssal realm unproven? Issei, gulping a, hi. I'm Issei Hayudu. Future prince of this whole flame thing? The demon roars, its voice shaking the ground. Demon Guardian, prove your worth or perish. The Guardian charges, slamming its massive fist into the ground as Issei narrowly dodges. Flames erupt around him, and he struggles to summon his own power. Issei versus Demon Guardian. The fight is chaotic, with Issei dodging the Guardian's heavy attacks and attempting to counter with bursts of flame. Each strike from the Guardian sends shockwaves through the realm, while Issei's attacks seem to barely scratch it. Issei, frustrated, thinking I can't keep up. It's too strong. The demon swings its fist, sending Issei flying into a jagged rock. He groans, struggling to get up as the demon looms over him. Demon Guardian, mockingly, is this the strength of the abyssal prince? Pathetic. Issei closes his eyes, feeling the flames within him stir. Seraphina's words echo in his mind. Seraphina's voice, the abyssal flame responds to your will. Feel its rhythm, its pulse. Issei stands, his eyes blazing with newfound determination. The flames around him intensify, swirling into a fiery aura. Issei, shouting I'm not giving up. He launches a powerful burst of flame, striking the Guardian and forcing it to stagger. The fight shifts as Issei's confidence grows, his attacks becoming more precise and powerful. Finally, with a roar, Issei summons a massive inferno, engulfing the Guardian. When the flames die down, the demon kneels, defeated. Demon Guardian, nodding approvingly, you have passed the first trial. But the path ahead is far more treacherous. The demon vanishes, leaving Issei alone as the ground beneath him shifts again. Trial of the mind. The landscape changes, morphing into a twisted version of Issei's school. Familiar faces appear, his classmates, friends, and even his parents. They glare at him with accusing eyes. Classmate 1, sneering, you're not one of us. You're a freak. Parent figure, coldly, you've brought nothing but shame to us. Issei stumbles back, overwhelmed by the harsh words. The figures surround him, their voices blending into a cacophony of doubt and fear. Issei, desperately, stop it. The scene darkens, and a younger version of Issei appears before him, looking small and vulnerable. Young Issei, tearfully, you're not strong enough. You'll never be good enough. Issei freezes, his confidence wavering. But then he remembers Seraphina's words. Seraphina's voice, strength isn't about never being afraid. It's about standing up despite your fear. Issei takes a deep breath, clenching his fists as his flames reignite. Issei, firmly, you're wrong. I'm not perfect, but I'm not weak either. The flames around him surge, shattering the illusion. The voices fade, and the twisted school dissolves into nothingness. Return to the real world. Issei stumbles back through the archway, collapsing to his knees as the energy of the abyssal realm fades. Seraphina rushes to his side, steadying him. Seraphina, gently, you made it. Issei, panting, that was insane. Seraphina, smiling faintly, and yet, you survived. You've taken another step toward mastering your power. Issei looks up at her, a flicker of determination in his eyes. Issei, quietly, if this is what it takes to protect myself, to protect everyone I care about, then I'll keep going. The camera pans to the horizon as the two stand together, the sun setting in fiery hues. Issei, thinking the abyssal flame is my burden, but it's also my strength. And I'll prove I'm worthy of it. The camera pans over a forest shrouded in mist, the morning sun barely cutting through. Issei and Serafina walk cautiously, their senses heightened after the abyssal trials. Issei, stretching, for once, I'd like to wake up and not feel like I got hit by a bus. Serafina, without looking back, consider yourself lucky. The abyssal trials leave many unable to stand. Issei, grumbling great pep talk, as always. They stop suddenly as Serafina holds up a hand. The forest grows eerily silent, and a faint rustling sound echoes around them. Serafina, quietly, we're not alone. Shadows dart between the trees, and a cloaked figure steps into view. Unlike the assassins from before, this figure radiates calm and authority. Mysterious figure, Prince Issei Hyudu. You've made it farther than I expected. Issei, nervous, stepping back, who are you supposed to be? Another assassin? Serafina, tense, stand down, Issei. He's not an enemy. Yet. The figure lowers his hood, revealing a man with silver hair and piercing blue eyes. His demeanor is regal but guarded. Mysterious figure, my name is Kale. I was an ally of your father's, and I've been watching over you from the shadows. Issei, skeptical, watching over me? That's funny, because I've been getting attacked non-stop lately. Where were you then? Kale, calmly, your awakening drew attention faster than expected. My role is not to fight your battles for you, but to guide you when the time is right. Serafina, narrowing her eyes, and now is the right time? Kale, glancing at her, the Abyssal Flame Clan is not without allies. But there are also factions within the demon world that fear your return. If you're to reclaim your heritage, you'll need more than raw power. You'll need alliances. He steps closer to Issei, his tone softening. Kale, your father entrusted me with knowledge that may help you, but it comes at a price. You must prove your intentions to me first. Issei, hesitant, what kind of proof are we talking about? Kale smirks faintly, gesturing for them to follow. Kale, let's just say it involves confronting a piece of your past. Ruins of an ancient abyssal stronghold. The group arrives at a massive, crumbling fortress. The air hums with latent energy, and flickering shadows dance across the walls. Kale, this was once a stronghold of the Abyssal Flame Clan. Within its walls lies an artifact tied to your bloodline, the Emberheart Crystal. To claim it, you must face the remnants of your clan's greatest enemies. Issei, looking up nervously, oh, great. A haunted fortress. Because I haven't had enough nightmares lately. Serafina, firmly focus, Issei. This is no ordinary trial. Kale nods and steps aside as the massive doors creak open. Issei takes a deep breath and enters, with Serafina following closely behind. Inside the stronghold, midday. Inside, the air is thick with a sense of dread. Shadows twist unnaturally, and faint whispers echo through the halls. Issei, whispering, why do all these places feel like they're designed to freak me out? Serafina, calmly, fear is a tool, Issei. Use it to sharpen your senses. Suddenly, the whispers intensify, and shadowy figures materialize around them. These wraith-like creatures wield spectral weapons, their hollow eyes glowing red. Serafina, drawing her blade, wraiths. They're remnants of those who opposed your family. The wraiths attack, forcing Issei and Serafina to fight. Issei struggles to keep up, his flames flickering under the pressure. The Emberheart Crystal. After defeating the wraiths, Issei reaches the central chamber. At its center, a pulsating crimson crystal floats, surrounded by swirling flames. Serafina, quietly, the Emberheart. As Issei approaches, the flames intensify, forming a massive figure, a spectral guardian made of fire and shadows. Spectral Guardian, only one worthy of the abyssal flame may claim the Ember Heart. Prove your strength, or perish. The Guardian attacks, forcing Issei into a desperate battle. Unlike before, he begins to synchronize with his flames, dodging and countering with increasing precision. Finally, he summons a focused inferno, striking the Guardian and shattering its form. The Ember Heart's flames dim, and the crystal lowers into Issei's hands. Kale, appearing in the doorway, smiling faintly impressive. Perhaps there's hope for you yet. Outside the stronghold, sunset. The group emerges from the ruins, the Ember Heart glowing faintly in Issei's hand. Kale, the Ember Heart will strengthen your connection to the abyssal flame, but it's only the beginning. The enemies you face will grow stronger, and you'll need allies to match their power. Issei, determine then tell me what I need to do. Kale, smiling slightly rest for now, Prince Issei. The path ahead will test you like never before. The camera pans to the horizon as the group continues onward. I think I'll end here. If you enjoyed this video, hit the bell for more what if videos. I'll be posting very soon again. Also, subscribing would help me a lot.